How's it going, guys? My name is Barczi and I'm a realtor here in Chicago with the Ville team and Coldwell banker, and today I'm just going to start a little series talking about the different neighborhoods in Chicago, kind of breaking down the livability, the pros, the cons, and today I'm going to be starting with the neighborhood I live in, Lincoln Park, here in the north side. Now, of course, Lincoln Park gets that reputation of being the spot that all the 20-somethings or those in their low 30s move to right after college in those years, kind of getting their first experience here in the city. And while that is true, Lincoln Park is definitely a haven for being a family-friendly neighborhood. It's got so much going on, so many great things about living here. Of course, there are cons too, and I'll break that down in a different video. But today I just want to talk about the positives because there are so many. Alright, so let's start with schooling, education. It's great here in Lincoln Park. There are many different options for you and your family to choose from. Now, of course, the Chicago public school system can be a little intimidating, a little confusing for those getting into it first, so I'm going to break that down. So essentially how the system works is there are three different types of schools. There are your neighborhood schools, which are your typical zoning. If you're in the region that the school provides to, you get to go to that school. Then there is a magnet school, which is basically just a lottery-based school. Everyone within the city, you can throw your name in the hat and they choose randomly, and that's that. And then, of course, there are your selective schools. So your selective schools are going to be your private schools, your schools that only take admission through testing, all those kinds of things. Also have plenty of those options. So Lincoln Park is great because it has many different neighborhood school options. These are by far the most accessible, and they're honestly ranked very highly within the state and within the city. So Lincoln Park High School right here in Lincoln Park is actually the #1 neighborhood school in the city. Like I said, that means that it is going to take within its region. And the thing about Chicago schools is all of them are on an open enrollment system. So even if you live on the other side of the city or you live a couple miles north, as long as you are within the Chicago school district boundaries, you can still apply to go to whatever school you want to go to. As far as elementary schools go, Lincoln Park has plenty of great options there in neighborhood schooling as well. You have Lincoln Elementary, which is K through 8, one of the top ranked in the city, top 10, and then top 25 in Illinois as far as elementary. And a lot of these schools in the city are going to be K through 8, so they kind of break it down based on that. Elcott College Prep Elementary School is also another great neighborhood option. Now, I don't know why any elementary school ever is getting the name College Prep, but still a great option, ranked highly in the city as well. As far as magnet schools go, like I said, that's a lottery-based school. You have plenty of options for that as well. Hawthorne Scholastic Academy is an option just about a mile south of Wrigley Field that is K through 8, and again, very highly ranked in the city and just admits based on a lottery. And then lastly, you have your selective schools. Chicago has many different unbelievable selective schools, and of course, this is probably what their top schools are known for being, but in saying that, sometimes they aren't always accessible or as affordable for everyone. And a great option for that in Lincoln Park is the Francis Parker School, which, yes, it's going to be a little steep price-wise. It's going to be about $40,000 to $45,000 a year for tuition based on where your kid is in the schooling program. It is going to be a K through 12 school, but in saying that, it is consistently ranked nationally and statewide as being one of the best private schools in the country and in the state. Next up, let's move on to safety. And I know this can be a touchy subject, especially when it comes to, cities, big cities in the country nationally. Now, Chicago gets kind of a bad rap for this. I think it's a little bit overblown in some ways. But when we specify just Lincoln Park is an incredibly safe neighborhood, one of the safest, if not the safest, in Chicago. Its crime rate is 25% below the city's average. Its violent crime rate is 50% below the national average, and its homicide rate is 0.4 for every 100,000 people. And the national average for that is just about 6 for every 100,000 people. Again, like I said, touchy subjects, not the most fun stats to go over, but I think they're important just to paint a broader picture of how safe Lincoln Park and some of the northern suburbs of Chicago can be. Another pro of Lincoln Park is the walkability and accessibility to everywhere. I mean, it is just unbelievable. If you're a walker, you know, there's going to be a gym, there's going to be a grocery store, a restaurant, anything within 5 to 10 minutes of you tops. I mean, if it's a restaurant, there's going to be 7 on every corner, every block. But it really is an incredibly walkable area. On walkscore.com, which I don't know, we're just gonna give it some credibility here. The walk score is a 94 out of 100. And honestly, just me living here in Lincoln Park, I can absolutely attest to that. And also just goes for the bikeability. If you're a biker and you love biking, you can get everywhere. All the streets, all the roads have safe bike lanes. Of course, there's the bike path right on the lake that is right in Lincoln Park that'll take you way north, take you way south. You could just ride that thing all day, see all of the city. It's beautiful and honestly one of the best parts of the city. You can easily live in Lincoln Park without having a car, whether it be via bike, whether it be via walking or public transit. You can get anywhere. The red line and brown line are very accessible from Lincoln Park. You can get into the city, you can go north, you can get to O'Hare. You can really get anywhere there. The buses take you a little bit more east-west or north-south, and like I said, it's just an incredibly walkable and pedestrian-friendly area here in the city, which is definitely making it a pro. The dining in Lincoln Park, another pro, and honestly I could spend a whole 30-45 minute video on this alone, so we'll just give you a quick little recap here. The dining and the culture in Lincoln Park is absolutely one of its best features. You have restaurants like Cafe Baba Riba, Spanish tapas, you have your classic Chicago deep dish and Lou Malnati's, Pequod's, which are both beloved in the city. And then you have plenty of Michelin star restaurants if you're looking for fine dining. You've got Alinea, you've got North Pond, Gallet, Esme. I mean, I could just go on and on. Like I said, I could spend a whole other video talking about the dining options in Lincoln Park, and I will probably do just that. But just know that you will never run out of spots to try out and new spots to experience. And finally, the last pro that I want to break down in this video is Lincoln Park itself. Lincoln Park is the largest green space in the city. It gives you access to the Lincoln Park Zoo, a nationally renowned zoo, which is free. It's a free zoo, so you can just walk on in and go see the lions on any given day. It's great. Or you have the lakefront, which is right connected to Lincoln Park. It's very accessible from anywhere in the city, and it is just, like I said earlier in the video, the prized crown jewel of Chicago. It's got a lakefront trail that takes you, I think it's 18 miles long, and it can take you north, it can take you south. Of course, lots of beach access right on the lake over there. You can spend hours traversing through Lincoln Park. It's got, like I said, so much green space, so many little nooks and crannies to explore, many different ponds that have trails built up around them. It really is a beautiful part of the city, and it's my favorite part. I mean, I live right by it, so I'd be a fool not to be walking and experiencing this greenery every single day. It's not every day that you can live in a massive city and have access to that kind of nature right outside your front door. So that is definitely a huge pro. And that goes without saying that it has some of the best views in the city from the North and South Pond. South Pond in Lincoln Park has, hands down, probably the best view in the city. I can just go there, sit, and take in the skyline, take in the nature, the pond, the lake from right there in Lincoln Park. Like I said, I want to be doing a video like this for a bunch of different neighborhoods in Chicago. I am a realtor here, so I want to help you guys have all the information and knowledge accessible before making a big decision to move to the city. Starting a family, being part of a community, it's all wonderful things you can do here in Lincoln Park, and there are plenty of different neighborhoods in the city that you can do that. But this one just, it feels especially family friendly, especially community driven, and like I said guys, there are many different pros of living in Lincoln Park, and it's not a place you'll regret moving to or looking into in the future. Again, this has been Christian Barczi from the Ville team and Coldwell Banker Realty. I'd love to help you buy, sell, or rent here in the city. I want to make sure that you and your family have the best possible experience. So guys, I will see you in my next breakdown video, and thank you so much.